Welcome to NQ Ninja. Well, we will be reviewing the charts, the NQ charts for January 15th, 2026. So I'm going to kind of show you what the market did today. I will show you my prop account, so account that I've started for this channel. And just to show you what I'm trading and what I'm teaching does work. I do have a funded account, so let's go ahead and just look at that really quick. So these are the last 3 days on this account. Now, this is since getting funded. So I had to get funded. I took an eval, passed that eval. This is through Lucid Trading, and that was a Lucid Flex account. And then what I did was I got funded through that. And so the last 3 days, I've been very consistent, just looking for 200 to 300. You can see the last 2 days actually 400. A lot of volatility. A lot of these trades, I'm actually doing one MNQ just to kind of talk through sizing. You don't need to go big, right? So you can start with 2, 3 MNQ and take those to certain positions and certain targets. But if you go too heavy, you will blow these accounts. So just want to kind of show you that. Second thing is I want to kind of show you the market as of today. So I want to back up on the daily and just kind of show you from the top down what we're seeing. So let me go ahead and do that. I'm going to scroll over here and let's kind of talk through this. So today was interesting this morning because this morning, so first of all, you can see that we've been trying to break out of this wedge. We're at the very bottom or very end of this wedge, and we really want to break through it. And so this morning we were up here. We had this like this was all full. I know this looks terrible, but this was like all full. There was a whole body here. And so what I was really looking for is, could we break above the previous high? And we did. So we actually got up to around, let's just say 950 or so. Okay. So 25,950. I didn't expect this to continue up the rest of the day. Just because the way that the candle was looking, it just didn't feel like we're going to get this like large, huge, body way up here at the very top. It didn't feel that way. So I was very cautious up here in this zone, especially since this is a supply zone. Anytime you're in a zone such as a supply zone, looking at longs is not encouraged. Let's just put it that way. So I'm not surprised by this move up and then a push back down. Now, I do think we will continue to go up. I just think we're building liquidity down here to then push up. But again, we've been here for a couple days. So let's just kind of see what that looks like. But the first things to notice here is this wick that we've created on the daily. You can see we're already kind of trying to fill that. This is the night before the 16th. At 9:10 Eastern, and so we're already kind of up to this level. I would have suspected this to maybe try to move back up more and fill that. And then if we want to try to be weak, it'd be off of that. But right now, we're looking at this going up to fill some of this previous wick, and then take us back up into this supply zone. So that's what I'm seeing on the higher time frame. Let's go ahead and just dive down into a deeper look here. Now, I will say I'm actually building a video. I'm creating a video, and I'll probably release it on Sunday around this structure that we're seeing currently, and just some of the things that I would tell anyone that wants to kind of in their mind see what's going to happen before it does, right? So what do I need to do to see the move before it actually happens? I'm going to actually talk through that on a video. Really want to kind of outline that. It's going to be one of my first just kind of learning, teaching videos, not really kind of looking at the intraday charts. But let's just kind of stick to the intradays for today. So what do we see today? First things first, if I zoom down on the 15, the first thing I'm seeing is this cup. And I want you to just notice this. So every day, I hope you're watching these videos to see the things that you're just going to consistently see over time. Right, I've been staring at NQ charts for the last 2 years. It's the only thing I've traded. It's the only thing I've touched every day. Some days for hours, just watching the behavior of these candles on NQ. So I feel like I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. And I feel like at this point I can really teach others to hopefully, speed up their learning process. So what we did was we did create this cup. Now, how did that happen and what did that look like today? So let's kind of dive down a little bit deeper here. And so let's look at this. So this was, this was at midnight. And then this morning, what I did was I actually drew a trend line. And I'll show you this. I drew like a trend line of sorts. How do we draw this? Let's see. Draw something like this. So I had something of this nature. Something like this, right? I had this trend line where we're moving up. And we just kind of stayed in this area all the way up. Let's see, this morning, I think I changed that a little bit. Probably more of an angle here. Yeah, okay. Something like that. And then if I take this, sure that comes out, but that's okay. We'll just do it. So I'm all about touches when we do channels. I'm going to create a couple videos and maybe even a course around just all the different structure that I use and how I look at them and how I draw them. I'm doing this because the middle is actually touching. There's support and resistance on the middle of this channel, and at the bottom that we're getting several touches, and so are we at the top. So I had something like this, and what I'm looking at is that this is moving up, and we get up into this zone, and you can see what we're doing. We're really just we're trying to push up. We can't. We create this wedge or downwards channel here. And we actually did see this morning. I was on a live video with some friends on Discord. So we were in here breaking this, and then we saw this actually move back up, break out of this channel. And this is what I took. I actually took this break out of the channel to the upside, and then called that a day. So that was one thing that we kind of saw. Again, you got to be really patient on these plays. There's several things here you could actually play. You could take the bottom of the channel, right, and take it up. You could take the top of the channel, which there really are only two, so I probably wouldn't take that. But the bottom was actually respected pretty well here. So those are good plays to the upside. What else could I play? I don't always show this, but the EMAs and the VWAP are something else I look at. It's just, it creates a lot of kind of busyness on my charts. It means something to me, but I know for someone that's just starting or looking at what I'm doing, they're gonna be like, what is that, right? You could use the 9 and 20, right? So I bounce off the 9 or the 20. So you're seeing these bounces off this 9 moving up, right? Coming back down, moving up, bouncing here, trying to push up. So those are other options as well. Probably not my favorite plays off those 9s, especially for today, but it was an option. The other thing here too, you can see is that we're using VWAP really as support. This is something we talked about in the Discord today, but really kind of using support on the VWAP here. And then you can tell later in the day, we really broke down to the downside off of that, which was really nice. So that was something to kind of look for. I did show it at the higher level on the post this morning that if we try to break down, we're going to try to move up, maybe create the cup, and then, make the handle to then break down. So that is what we got. So a nice move back down. Again, I wasn't surprised by that. I thought it could happen. So that's what we kind of saw the rest of the day. We really just kind of channeled down off of this 9. And now you can see we're recovering a little bit. So that was today. Again, I don't want to make these videos too long. Hopefully this is helpful. Make sure you subscribe and like this video, and I will talk to you guys later on.